Hey, thanks for tuning in. In this video, I would like to show you the Anchorpoint plugin for Unity. So before we can get started, we need to set up it correctly. So to use the Anchorpoint plugin for Unity, you need to have the Anchorpoint desktop application installed. Then you need to have also an Anchorpoint project. And an Anchorpoint project is exactly the same like a Git repository. So your Unity project has to be set up here. If you have not done this, so once you have the Anchorpoint desktop application, create a new tab, and then you will be here at the projects page. And then scroll down to the place where you have active projects, and there you can create a new project, and the wizard will guide you on how to do this. It will also show you how to set up a Git repository on Azure DevOps, on GitHub, or any kind of Git hosting provider. And once you have done this, you are ready to go and to use the plugin. So let's go back to the Unity project here in Anchorpoint. And I have, let's say, a timeline with certain commits. So I already have something set up here. And if I go back to Unity, I can go to Window, and if I have installed the Anchorpoint plugin via the asset store, I can open up Anchorpoint here. So this will first of all open a window. You can dock this, and then it will ask you to connect to Anchorpoint. So we want to connect to Anchorpoint, and then we have the editor window here. And this can display the following things. It will display all the changed files that we have modified. Currently, it's not the case. You can also disconnect here. You can access the documentation here. Here will enter your commit message, and then you can sync your changes. And syncing means you make a commit, you pull and you push, and you can also revert your selected files here. But what it also can do, it can display you status updates in the project window. So when we click on the project, we can see here that on our prefabs, we have an avatar here. I see that this prefab is also logged by my team member. File locking in Anchorpoint works like this. So once you make a modification to a file, and if it's a prefab or a Unity scene or any kind of binary file, it will get locked automatically. So you can control the settings, how it behaves with locking in the project settings under Git. And then you have something like file locking. So per default, it will lock all binary files, and it will lock a selection of text files. But in the case of, for example, Unity scenes, Unity prefabs, merging does not always work that well. So it's very recommended to lock these files. And here you can add your file extensions that you would like to be locked once you modify them. So let's say you work on a release branch where you are definitely sure that these changes what you make will never be merged back again. There you can, for example, enter the name of the branch, or let's say the name of the branch group. Let's say you have a branch group or branch folder called release or releases, and then you can also add it here, and it will exclude file locking on that particular branch. Or let's say you do some experimentations on an experimental branch, you can also exclude this here as well. So let me do some modifications in Unity. And so if I would like to modify a file, let's say I move this chicken here and I would like to press save, it will tell me that you cannot change this file. It's read-only, it's locked by my team member here, and it cannot be saved in this case. So this prevents me to run into merge conflicts. So if I would like to, for example, modify another file that is not locked, and this is how I would normally work. So in this case, I would like to discard the changes and open another prefab here. Let me make a change here and press save. Unity will tell me immediately that this file got modified. And because this is a prefab, it refreshes that icon to a lock icon. And this lock icon means that I am locking the file. It's read only for anybody else in my team. Now what I can do, I can go to Anchorpoint. And let me scroll down here. You can see that my file is added in the list of changes. So on the Anchorpoint side here, it's also the same. If I go to the timeline and I click on changed files, it will also tell me that the prefab here got modified. Let me see how this looks in Unity. And then I can commit that change. I can mark this here and say moved position. And then I can sync that change. So it tells me I should not edit my files right now because we are currently in the commit process. And once the push in the background starts, and will continue pushing in the background, especially if you have changes which are a bit bigger, you can continue working while the changes are pushed in the background. So Anchorpoint is a Git client with a metadata system, which means that it's compatible to any kind of Git hosting provider. If you have also developers who work with other Git clients, that all works nicely together. One thing that is Anchorpoint exclusive, and this is the file locking system, because that uses the metadata system. So if you want to take the advantage of file locking only works for users who also have Anchorpoint installed on them. All right. That was a quick introduction to the Anchorpoint plugin for Unity. We hope that this plugin will facilitate your workflow. Thank you for watching.